What's up guys, DK Jones here and welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix weekend preview. Usually one of the highlights of the year because of the racing we get over there. We're going to have C2, C3 and C4 tire compounds for this weekend. 305.879 kilometers over the course of 71 laps. Last time we were here we got a podium of George Russell winning the race ahead of Hamilton and Sainz in third. In terms of the weather, it's looking safe for Sunday, but we might see a few sprinkles of rain before that. Drivers' Championship after the Mexican Grand Prix. Every driver now has scored points, starting at the bottom with Logan Sargent with 1 point, Liam Lawson with 2 points, and Magnussen in 19th. Then you have Zoe and Daniel Ricciardo getting 6 points from the Mexican Grand Prix in P7. Then you have Tsunoda on 8. Then you have Hulkenberg below Bottas and Albon, Ocon in 12th, and Lance Stroll in 11th position. And in the top half, we have Pierre Gasly in 10th with 56 points behind Oscar Piastri. Then we have George Russell and Charles Leclerc, who's below Lando Norris. Alonso in 5th behind Carlos Sainz. He's dropped behind Carlos Sainz now. Hamilton is now only 20 points behind Sergio Perez in 2nd, and Max Verstappen, after setting a new record for most wins in a season, beating the previous record held by Max Verstappen, he of course is at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Constructors Championship after the Mexican Grand Prix. Haas are now bottom of the Constructors with 12 points, whilst AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo are tied on 16. Then we have Williams in 7th and Alpine in 6th. Aston Martin now in 5th behind McLaren. Then we have Ferrari in 3rd, Mercedes in 2nd, and Red Bull leading the way. Hotlap of the Brazilian Grand Prix on the main straight on the right hand side to open up our apex for the Senna S's, going downhill into the second long DRS straight, which will improve the chances of overtaking if you couldn't overtake on the main straight. Then we go into sector 2, which is a bit of a technical section, so if we have cars trying to overtake, it might be a bit tricky to stay within the DRS of the car ahead through here. First race here was in 1973. The track distance of 4.309 kilometers. The track record is a 1:10.540 as we start to go uphill again. The most wins of the Brazilian Grand Prix comes from Alain Prost with 6 wins as we start to go flat out through this left-hander before we break for the final real corner of the track to start off this long straight. And it's a long drive to the start finish line. We don't get DRS until halfway through the straight. Now we have DRS to barrel our way to end off our hot lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Qualifying predictions for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be another qualifying on a Friday, and I'm going to go for another sort of upset. I'm going to go for Lewis Hamilton on pole position with Verstappen joining him on the front row. We have Russell and Sainz on the second row, followed by the 2 McLarens, Piastri ahead of Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc in 7th ahead of Sergio Perez, with Hulkenberg ahead of Ocon in 10th. It's another sprint weekend, which means the sprint shootout and the sprint race on a Saturday. And my predictions for the sprint race on Saturday is a Max Verstappen win ahead of the 2 Mercedes, Hamilton ahead of Russell. Then we have Norris ahead of Leclerc, Perez and Sainz. Alonso in 8th position with Piastri in 9th and Ocon in 10th. Race predictions for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I think this is going to be another race of the season contender, as Sao Paulo has always been over the last few years. I've gone for Verstappen to win the race ahead of Lando Norris and Hamilton on the podium. Oscar Piastri taking 4th position with Lando Norris taking the drive of the day as well as the fastest lap. Weekend schedule for the Brazilian Grand Prix. On Friday we're going to have FP1 at 11:30 to 12:30 and qualifying at 15 to 16. Saturday is the sprint shootout at 11 to 11:44 and the sprint race at 15:30 to 16:30. And on Sunday is the race at 14. Now these are track times in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So you're gonna have to find out what times these are where you are. But if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe and leave your predictions down in the comment section below. And from me, TK Jones, I'll see you next time.